That line and that combo was easily one of my favorite scenes from this episode. Like, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of great scenes throughout this episode, and this is easily the funniest episode of Grand Blue to date. I mean, there's just so many great lines throughout this episode and scenes in general that I was laughing a lot. Like, I usually laugh every single episode, but this one, it truly hit all the right notes for me. As someone that loves to laugh sometimes, this definitely was a great way just to end, you know, a Friday afternoon. So, let's get into that. This episode has so many moments, like with Chisa, to what Iori had to go through, to Kohei, and I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what I honestly should talk about first. I guess one scene that I really like that was in this episode was the moment to when they realize that the, you know, cheerleaders, people are cheering for them doing the tennis match, they were all unconscious and completely passed out. And then you see the bottle, you know, fall over, and you see the, you know, the alcohol content fall out, and it just instantly evaporates. And I'm like, whoa, like, for something to instantly, you know, evaporate like that, that's some strong stuff, that should kill you. And so, when that happened, I was like, whoa, that's some strong stuff. And then later on in the scene, you see the two individuals that are pretty much like ogres, they obviously have drunk some of it, and they're acting all like, woo, and all that, and I'm just like, okay, this series is just, it's having me die right now, just because of how funny it is. And then, all of a sudden, you have it to where they sabotage their opponents, and you see the scene to where their content of their drink falls out and it instantly evaporates, and I'm like, I love this series. There's no sportsmanship, there's sabotage going on both sides. It's such a great series. As you can see by my face, I'm smiling. It's just like, honestly, my jaws hurt from just smiling so much, my cheeks and jaw. But, okay, so anyways, let's talk about one of my personal favorite moments, which was the, I guess, parody type like gag scene with the wording. So a bunch of our characters were saying, "Nice buddy, Chisa, nice buddy," and I'm like, is that supposed to sound what I think it sounds like? Because when I was listening to it, it sounded like body. And this was before later on in that scene when we actually get them saying body. But then all of a sudden they start saying, nice body, nice body. And I'm like, oh, it was literally meant to show that because of how similar body sounds to buddy, that they were doing like a joke in Japanese. And honestly, I caught that joke, even though I'm not, you know, completely understanding of Japanese and understand all the jokes that come my way, because some things can be lost in translation. That joke I got, and that joke was absolutely hilarious, just seeing how they were all at first yelling, nice buddy, but then they started saying, nice body, Chisa, and you just see her getting all embarrassed and shy, just, you know, crouching down. I'm just like, it's so adorable. Which Chisa, by the way, had so many great moments throughout this episode. But honestly, I feel bad for Iori, but I love how Chisa also is very aware of what kind of pain she's putting him through. Like, at the beginning of the episode, when they find out that Chisa walks in on the room, it's like, okay, I'm out of the shower now, Iori, you can, you know, take a shower now. And then she's like, oh, your friends are over, and she quickly closes the door, and you see how she acts all shy. And then all of a sudden, this man, he gets, you know, the crap beat out of him, and the next thing's like, you know, shouldn't you say something? Like, how does this make you feel when you see my face, you know, Chisa? And she's like, I'm sorry. I just love the Chisa moments throughout this episode. She got shy, she was very adorable. I mean, the whole outfit she had to wear thanks to Nanaka, what she put her in. I mean, this episode, definitely, if you're a Chisa fan, you're gonna like this episode. But, I mean, also, Kanki had a few good scenes as well. Not as many as Chisa, but Kanki did have some good scenes. I mean, Asusa, she didn't really have many scenes now that I think about it in this episode, which there was a certain scene about her at the beginning, which I'll get into. But Chisa's kind of like the main spotlight in this episode when it comes to female characters, which really isn't a bad thing. She's honestly one of my favorites besides Asusa, because, I mean, obviously, I mean, just the way she is as a person, her personality, I love it. But okay, so let's start at the beginning. Let's go to the beginning and let's, you know, talk about what, you know, Iori had to go through and how all of his scummy friends were trying to figure out, you know, if he lived with a girl or not. Now, as we know, it's been set up a couple episodes ago, Iori has established that apparently he's going out with Chisa, and everybody knows he's going out with Chisa or something, and we know that's just like a big cover story, but everybody truly believes that's what's going on. But they try to go over to his place just to see if he truly is living with her or not, and they come to find out, you know, eventually he does. But before that scene happens, they enter his room, and there's so many things that they encounter that it's just, it could definitely lead to a misunderstanding, and not the misunderstanding you're actually used to. Usually the misunderstanding is what actually happened to Iori at the end of the scene when he started getting pummeled by all of his friends. But before that happened, when they walk into his room and they see, like, the lipstick, and then you see the outfit to the wig, and then you see the magazine where he's trying to, like, search for a job and make money, I'm just like, oh, all the stars are aligning for this man to look like he's trying to dress up as a girl, and they're like, this poor man, this poor like, it was just great. And then also, I like the friend of how he kept mistaking everything. Like, he was so far from reality because of just what was going on around him. Like, when he picked up, you know, the lipstick, he's like, is this a suppository and all that? And he just looks at it. I'm like, oh, it's so great. Or when he looks at the bra from Asusa, and he's like, this is a hat, obviously, and I'm just like, this poor man, like, this poor freaking man. Oh, yeah, I especially love how they put down Chisa in that scene, like, they were looking at it like, there's no way this could be, you know, Chisa's, because she's, you know, flat, kind of, and I'm like, oh, like, you better hope she didn't hear you, like, you don't want her to hear you at all, or she would end you pretty quickly. But there's so many great moments at the beginning of the episode that I was smiling, laughing, especially when Iori was trying to communicate with Kohei. He's like, you know, back me up, man, back me up. And you see, like, he's sending, like, wavelengths to him, and all of a sudden he's like, he smiles like Attack on Titan, and he's like, you scum. Okay, so, as you can see, I was laughing continuously and smiling while watching this. My cheeks still hurt, by the way, but it was so good. It was such a good episode. Oh my god, Grand Blue is really fun. It's so fun. And I mean, even the tennis match, like, what's tennis doing in my diving anime? Like, what's tennis doing? I mean, is this trying to be like baby steps, or is this trying to be like Prince of Tennis? Like, what's going on here? But I'm not gonna lie though, I really like the tennis scene throughout this episode. Not just because of nice body, Chisa, but I just like the tennis match in general. Just seeing how, you know, the individuals, like the, you know, the people that are the senpais of Kohei and Iori, how they were just dominating the court, they were destroying everything. I'm like, these guys are monsters, and especially towards the end of the episode as well, when they feel like they're going to a trip to go actually diving, like in Okinawa, and then all of a sudden you see on the back of it that they're about to start getting drunk, and I'm like, oh. Like, okay, always is a catch. So yeah, this episode of Grand Blue, I think, is by far my personal favorite episode. I don't think everybody's gonna agree with me, but in terms of just laughs I got, this was easily my favorite, and I want more episodes like this. This was good. This was a really good freaking episode. Facial expressions, to voice acting, to just, in general, just the way the comedy was given to us as watchers, I think it was just spot on. But I want to end this video here, so let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed my content, you know, please subscribe. If you liked this video, please leave a like. Oh yeah, one last thing before I do end this video, though. What was your favorite moment? I'm kind of curious. What was your favorite moment from this episode? Let me know in the comments below. And with that, I love you guys. Chibi out.